Hi, this is Lorena Donaldson from London, Kentucky, and I'd like to share my recipe with you. It's called Orange Dreamsicle Pie. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with a pan that is about medium heat, and we're going to use 1 cup of milk. We're going to pour that in there just like that. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of flour. We're going to put that in there with that. We're going to whisk this together so we get the lumps out of it. This is a recipe that I have developed on my own, and it tastes like the old-fashioned Dreamsicle ice creams, and it's really good. I think you ought to try it. The cream cheese in this, I think, is the secret ingredient. It makes it really smooth, gives it that creamy texture, flavor. It's really awesome. If you're looking for a pie dessert that you really want to impress somebody with, I think this would be the one. Okay. Once we get all the lumps out of our milk and flour, we're going to add 1 block of Philadelphia cream cheese. Like I said, this is the secret ingredient to a lot of recipes that I use. And as we go, we're going to add our other ingredients. We're going to use just a pinch of salt, not a whole lot, just a little pinch there, just to bring out the flavors. Once the cream cheese breaks down and melts, we'll have a really, really good pie. This is good at church functions, picnics, you name it. And once we get that going there, we're going to switch back to our old-timey whisk. We also baked off a 9-inch deep dish pie shell. We have that cooling over here. And once we get everything ready and together and it's all ready to pour, we're going to put it in our pie shell and let it cool, and then we're going to make a topping. And the topping consists of sour cream, whipped topping, and powdered sugar, and I'll give you those measurements when we get to that. Okay, we're going to let that simmer just a minute as we add the rest of our ingredients, and that would be 3 egg yolks, not whites. We're not going to use any whites in this at all. Stir that in, break them up, make sure that they combine evenly. Once all of our cream cheese is melted, you can come over here and look at that if you want to, and you'll see what I'm talking about. See that? That cream cheese melts wonderful. If this had been any other competition with any other secret ingredient, I think I would have not entered, because to me, the Philadelphia cream cheese is like this most secret ingredient you could use. You can do so many things with that. We've added a half a stick of butter to that. We're going to let that melt. And we also have the zest of 1 orange and the juice of that orange. And we also have the juice of a half a lemon and the zest of a half a lemon. And that's going to just make this dessert pop. Okay? And, you know, it's funny, when I moved to Kentucky with my husband, who is originally from Kentucky, so, you know, figure that one out there. We got cable in this area. One of our first channels was the Food Network. And Paula Dean's Home Cooking. Oh my gosh, I was so excited because I thought, oh my God, they got somebody on TV who's from the country and she's teaching everybody how to cook, home cooking like we cook. How good is that, you know? So to that, we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. We're going to let that mix in well. This is really an easy recipe. We also have 1 box of our favorite gelatin, whichever flavor you're going to use in this recipe. That's all you need is 1 package of that. We're going to set that aside. We also need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I would recommend using the real, not the artificial, because the flavor difference is unbelievable. And especially in a pie that's supposed to have a cream taste to it, just makes the world of difference. Okay. And you want to keep stirring this, because if you don't, you're going to end up scorching it, because you know you do have milk product and cheese product in here, so we want to make sure that we do not scorch this. Whoops. Be careful, you'll slosh a little. Okay, once we get all the lumps out, everything's melted down very nicely. And you see some steam starting to accumulate. It's almost time to add our favorite gelatin. Take that, open that up, just sprinkle that in there. And that also gives it its color, the color of the pie. Now it's going to pop. It looks like orange. And I think if you try this recipe, you're going to be amazed at the flavor. Especially if you like those old-timey ice creams. And I think they still have them. Okay, you can come over and look and see how smooth that looks. Oh, if you could only smell this. It smells so good. Okay, we're done with that. Now we're going to pour it in our already baked pie shell over here. And then we're going to let this cool till it's completely cooled, and then we will add the rest, which is the topping. And it is a whipped topping with sour cream base. Okay. And that's all that for right now, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we are back now, and we're going to do the topping for our pie, which is the dreamsicle part. And we are going to use a ½ cup of sour cream. We are going to use a ½ cup of Cool Whip. And then we are going to use a ½ cup of powdered sugar. And we're just going to put that all in the bowl there. And we're going to stir this till it all comes together. And this will come out really nice and creamy. Just work it till you get all your lumps out. Okay, that looks good. Our pie is good and cool to the touch. On the bottom, yep, it's good and cool. So it's all firm and set. We're just going to take this here. We're going to gently pour it over the pie. We're just going to even that out. This is a dessert that you can really have anytime. It's really easy to make, and it has a great wow factor to it. And it's so simple. Okay, and just like that. This is the orange Dreamsicle Pie. That's the orange version. And over here, we have the strawberry Dreamsicle Pie version. Like I said, you can make this about any flavor that you like. And when you cut your piece of pie, your dreamsicle is going to run over the edges of the pie, and that makes it look just that much prettier. And see how firm it stays? It's wonderful. Thank you, and I hope you try this recipe.